Hola, bienvenidos al espacio de preguntas por parte del evento México a través de los sismos. En esta primera entrevista nos acompaña el doctor Morgan Moschetti, el cual nos ayudará a responder preguntas hechas por el público con las cuales podremos aclarar dudas. Hello and welcome to the first question and answer session of the event Mexico through the earthquakes. In this first session, we are joined by Dr. Morgan Moschetti, who will allow us to answer questions from the public and with which we will be able to clarify certain doubts. First of all, good morning, Dr. Moschetti. Thank
Hi.
you very much for joining us in this open space to the public. I would like to thank you in advance on behalf of the Institute of Engineering for joining us today.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the invitation and for.
Thank you. Well, the first question we are asked is, regarding the seismic hazard along the border, is there any ongoing collaboration with the Mexican government or groups in Mexico?
There's not a formal collaboration ongoing, although we have recently been in touch with colleagues at UNAM about working together to understand the various ways that we approach these calculations.
Okay, thank you very much. The second question is, what similarities do you find between the US and Mexico in relation to the seismic risk or seismic hazard?
Many. I mean, yes. Fundamentally, both countries have seismic risks that are significant and pose an issue to many people. And I think the fundamental science questions are the same in both countries. And in both cases, we have questions about how to estimate how often earthquakes occur, how large earthquakes will be, how strong the ground shaking will be from earthquakes that we will experience in the future. Both countries have a recent history of earthquakes. Mexico very recently, and I think this is a reminder of the risks that we face, and yes, so many similarities and overlaps.
Okay, thank you. Yes. The third question is, what is the short and medium-term direction of research and technology development in the US for the study of earthquakes?
So the short-term needs in the US are largely focused on the current hazard products that we produce at the US Geological Survey. And so we're increasingly trying to incorporate regional information. An important issue both in the US and in Mexico is the effect of these sedimentary basins that are known to amplify ground motions, and that's been shown to be a significant issue for Mexico City. It's also a significant issue for a number of cities in the U.S., and so incorporating that information in our seismic hazard models has been very important. It's always important for us to include new information that's been produced by researchers at the U.S. Geological Survey and by our academic partners and various other researchers at public and private institutions, so that we have hazard estimates that are as up to date as possible. That in the medium term or longer term, we'd like to incorporate some of the new technologies that have been available for some time, and that there's growing confidence in their use for seismic hazard. An important one is the use of ground motion simulations, which can tell us about various features that we expect from kind of physics-based principles, but haven't observed in earthquakes due to the limited number of recordings that we have from large earthquakes. Longer term, we may also be able to use some of these simulators to help us understand the rate of earthquakes and have better understanding of time dependence of earthquake occurrence.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you very much for your time, doctor, and for solving these public doubts. We really, really thank you for your attendance and remind you who are watching us to follow the event Mexico through the earthquakes and the next interviews in our social networks. Thank you very much and good morning.
Great. You're welcome. Thank you.